All right, here it is. This is my thank you to an author who I admire, an author who, if it wasn't for their book, I most likely would not have found the love and passion that I have for reading. You ready? All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark, and I hope everyone is having a great day, a great weekend. It is very cold outside. It's going to be cold, like really cold all week. And that sucks because I hate winter, and winter hasn't even technically started, but I'm already done with it. I can't stand it. I don't want it. I want spring, summer back here where I can just be out there and t-shirt and shorts. That's what I want. Okay. I'm already sick of this cold weather. But anyway, I want to get right into it. Okay. I want to get right into this video because I have been waiting so long to make this video, and I had something planned out. I had a whole skit, a whole thing ready to go, but like always, I plan things poorly, and I don't have the time to do that. But I thought about it, and I think this is better. I hope this reaches the author because this is very important to me, and I just want the author to know how much I appreciate and how thankful I am that they gave me the love and passion for reading that I once had. So, many of you already know that I didn't pick up a book for 10 years. I'm not going to say I lost my love and passion for reading. It just wasn't there. I don't know why. I can't figure out why, but it just wasn't there. And that really upset me because reading was always and is a big part of my life. Ever since I learned to read, I've been obsessed with reading. So when I lost that passion, when I lost that love, the excitement for it, it hurt. And I just dealt with it. I said, all right, I'm never going to pick up a book ever again. I don't have any interest in reading ever again. But at the beginning of this year, I told myself that I wanted to try and get back into it. So I love science fiction. That is my go-to genre. So I said, why not? Let's go find a book in that genre. I came across a book called Altered Carbon by, I believe it's Richard K. Morgan. And if I am wrong with that author's name, I apologize, but I believe it's Richard K. Morgan. And I gave that book a shot. The synopsis sounded really good. It got good reviews. Everybody was loving it on Goodreads. The show had just came out, and everybody was loving that. But that only lasted like 2 seasons, I think. But anyway. But I was struggling with that book. And I mean struggling. I found myself having to go back and reread a lot because I just couldn't keep up with it. I forgot what was going on. Like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Wait, when did this person die? When did this person get arrested? Like, what? Why is this? And I felt like the book was scattered. It just felt like it was all over the place. And like I just said, I couldn't keep up with it. But I finished it because I do not DNF books. I never have, and I most likely never will. And that's a whole nother story. So I said to myself, all right, it took me a month to read this book, and I really did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy it one bit. So I just came to the conclusion that reading is just not for me anymore. I lost the passion. I lost the love, the excitement, the fun I had with it, and it's just gone. So I accepted it, and that was it. But then I made a X account and typed in books, and a whole list of authors came up. And I just went down the list and followed every single one of them. And then I started going through every single one of their pages. Came across this one author who was promoting their book heavily. And I mean heavily. And there were others who were also helping this author promote their book and loving it and saying great things about it. So I said, okay, what the story is about is my other go-to genre, a post-apocalyptic zombie wasteland of the world type book. That's the next genre that I love. So I read the synopsis and I said, yeah, this has to be the one. This has to be that book. What book is it? I think a lot of you already know who I'm talking about, but you know what? I'm going to give you a minute or two to try and figure it out. See if you can come up with who I'm talking about. So I'll just take a minute, check the weather for the next couple days, and I'll let you guys think about it. Okay, I'll give you like 10, 20 seconds to guess. All right. I'll tell you the author, okay? I'll tell you the author. It is none other than indie author Molly McCobb. When I started this book, hold on, before I say that, I'm going to read the synopsis for you, okay? Dark Bloom. When a disease runs rampant, turning people into cannibalistic horrors, society comes to a halt. Kate manages to escape the sadistic captivity she has endured and collides with Nick, a Marine haunted by the scars of war. They join forces to navigate a treacherous landscape, battling the undead and hostile survivors. But what happens when the monsters outside are the least of their worries? Nick's shame is crushing, and Kate's distrust is swallowing her whole. Will they overcome the darkness that threatens to consume them from within? And what will become of a world overrun with creatures that cannot seem to stop laughing? Let me go back further, okay? Let me go back a little bit. I'm going to read one sentence to you. But what happens when the monsters outside are the least of their worries? That one sentence tells you exactly how this book is going to go down. Excuse me, I had to get a drink. So when I read this synopsis, that sentence alone hooked me. That sentence alone told me, okay, this author is telling us about a post-apocalyptic zombie wasteland of the world story. But she's not focusing on people just trying to survive a zombie apocalypse, people just running from them and escaping them and just trying to live. There's more to this book than zombies. It is about two strangers who were already broken that are trying to find trust, loyalty, love in a broken world. So let's say the scenario is real. In that kind of world, trust is hard to come by. Trust would be hard to come by. Okay? Love, feelings for anyone or anything is basically evaporated. Okay, you want your instinct is just to survive. Right? Nick and Kate meet, they run into each other, and what they go through and what they learn about each other, it's great. I love the story of Nick and Kate. I love the story that this author gave us to read. Because most zombie books, the post-apocalyptics, all that stuff, they don't dive so much into the characters. It's all about just surviving the apocalypse and with whatever is happening. But like I said, this author created something bigger than that. And the very first page, and I'm not exaggerating this, I promise you that I'm not exaggerating in any way possible. Okay, I'm not trying to kiss the author's ass or nothing like that. Or this is me telling you how I feel about this book. It's like it was a health bar in a video game. Okay, my health bar was at a 1 out of 10, right? The health bar is for my passion, my love for reading was at a 1 after reading that disastrous book, Altered Carbon. When I started this book, the health bar right away, and I'm not exaggerating, like I just said, immediately it went from 1 to 10. I was so hooked and glued to this book. I am a slow reader. It takes me about maybe 2 weeks to read a book. And if it's a chonker, a lot longer than that. I read this book in about a week. I think it was less than a week or a week. And that tells you a lot. Molly, thank you for giving me the love, the passion, the excitement that I had for reading, because I honestly thought that I was done. I honestly thought that I was never going to pick up a book ever again. And that was frightening. Because like I said earlier, books have always been a huge part of my life. And I thought I was done. I thought I was done reading them. I've read her 2 newest ones, What Comes Before, and then the second book of this series, this series is a duology. So the second one comes out in February of next year, February 1st of next year, Without a Whisper. I read this one in a week or less. I read Without a Whisper in one day. So there is a lot of emotion in this book. A lot of chaos in this book. The second one, the author took the gloves off with the second one. The author said, you know what? I'm going to end this series with a banger. Okay? And that is exactly what she did. I highly recommend this book. I highly recommend Without a Whisper, that comes out, like I said, February 1st of 2026. Thank you, Molly. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me. Okay? You don't know how much this series means to me. It brought me back. It brought me back. You are a very talented writer, Molly. Don't let anyone tell you different. Like I said in a review of mine for you, when you have an idea in your head and you get it on paper, something extraordinary is about to happen. Don't let anyone, and I mean anyone, bring you down with your writing or just bring you down in general at all. You are very talented. You know how to tell a story. You know how to pull people in. You know how to keep people glued to the pages. So keep going. Keep at it. Keep writing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this brings you guys something. And yeah, until the next one. See you next time.